Let's get more with our royal correspondent Cameron Walker joining us in the studio. And remember the publicity at the time involving Michael Fawcett and suggestions of suitcases of cash from the Saudi Arabians, all sorts of allegations.
Yes, it's messy. Michael Fawcett was the former very close confidant of Charles, now of course King, but then Prince of Wales, tipped to be the next master of the household. That's essentially the chief executive of Buckingham Palace. But he had to essentially resign after this scandal erupted. He resigned as chief executive of one of the King's charities, the Prince's Foundation, after exposed information, I suppose, in papers appeared to show that he had offered a wealthy Saudi billionaire an honour, i.e. a knighthood, and indeed UK citizenship in return for a cash donation to King Charles's charity, which is where the suitcase of cash perhaps came from. So after he resigned, the Prince's Foundation launched an independent investigation and found that there was evidence of this exchange of information or communication, but none of their trustees were in fact involved. Now, the problem comes that it is actually a criminal offence to offer honours in return for cash. So the anti-monarchy group Republic, a couple of years ago, put in an official complaint to the Metropolitan Police against the King, when he was Prince of Wales, and Michael Fawcett. Now, the police started their investigation in February 2022. On the 6th of September, we found out today, that's 2 days before the late Queen died, by the way, that they questioned 2 men at a London police station under caution. Today, they have told us that they are taking no further action. So Buckingham Palace spokesperson today say, we have noted the decision of the Metropolitan Police. All other inquiries are a matter for the Prince's Foundation. And the Prince's Foundation said they want to focus now on delivering the education and training programmes of the Prince's
But we
Trust.
should make it clear there is no suggestion that the Prince, as he was King now, was one of those who was interviewed by the police, as far as we know.
Yes, as far as we know, the Prince, now King, was not interviewed by the police. And actually, at the time, the Clarence House spokesperson, he had absolutely no knowledge of any of these allegations until the newspapers leaked the information. Metropolitan Police have told us today that no arrests or charges have been brought.
What's happened to Michael Fawcett?
Well, he is no longer employed by the royal household or anything associated with the royal household. A paper ran a story last year which showed a paparazzi photograph of him walking his dog down the London streets, perhaps living a life of solitude now. The Prince's Trust, from a statement we got today, appears to essentially wash their hands of him, but it's perhaps a bit of a spectacular fall from grace.
I mean, he was literally the right-hand man, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, he was rumoured to, at one point, actually put toothpaste on the Prince's toothbrush because the Prince has broken his arm in a polo match. So, you know, this is a guy who was incredibly close to the future king and is now no longer associated with him because of this scandal. It has been a cloud over Buckingham Palace, and particularly in the early days of the king's reign. And I think from speaking to people in Buckingham Palace, I think they very much want to move on now.
Buckingham Palace say they've noted the decision. King Charles is at Balmoral, is he still, for the summer?
Yes, he is, and today we've seen pictures of him arrive for an official welcome ceremony to Balmoral Castle. It's understood that he's actually been staying in his private property, Burke Hall, very close by with the Queen, Camilla, but he got an official welcome accompanied by his equerry, Johnny Thompson, a couple of military bands and regiments there.
Or just for the short hop from Burke Hall to Balmoral?
Yes, we saw pictures of him drive in the car from the Burke Hall estate to the gate of Balmoral Castle, and then he got out the car, greeted some of the soldiers and military personnel who had been there.
But something that is significant, we understand that Andrew and Fergie will also be attending the family get-together at Balmoral.
Yeah, it seems like a family reunion. People seem to forget that Andrew and Fergie, by extension, are still members of the private Windsor family. It's just because of clearly all the scandals that have happened with those two. They are no longer working members of the royal family. The papers are reporting that they have been offered Cregowyn Lodge, which is a kind of a house on the Balmoral estate.
That was the Queen's favourite, wasn't it?
Used to use. So they'll be staying there. We understand the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh are also expected to be going up at some point, and the Prince and Princess of Wales and their 3 children as well. The King wanting to spend time with his grandchildren.
So the barbecue will be out? No.
Yes.
Well, the anniversary of the Queen's death is not far away, is it?
Not far, no, a couple of weeks away from that.
Yeah.